Do we get this side? Okay, I think we're good. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Sweet. We're back after an Easter weekend. Hello. It's Smooth Milo. Right, been a bit of a while, but we'll read the recap this time, just because it's been a little bit of a while. The Weight of Vengeance. Lightning knows that Snow is not Hope's favorite person, but the only way to ensure the boys escape from the swarm of Sanctum troops is to leave him with the man he despises. Really? That was the only way? Her mind made up. Lightning shoves Hope at Snow. Hang on, wait, stop. No, I didn't read that. Wait, hang on. Lightning shoves Hope at Snow, then charges the enemy soldiers, intending to cut a path through which they can escape. She may have failed to give him hope, but the least she can do is keep him alive, even if that means sacrificing herself. After appearing out of nowhere, an Eidolian, and felling soldiers left and right, Snow explains how the cavalry picked them up. The rebel brigade of the part of Sex was off. Dang it! I tried. Alright, well, you remember, Lightning and Hope were traveling together, and they walked right out into an entire fudge ton of soldiers. And it looked like they were about to be captured, and then Snow showed up with the Shiva sisters and took everyone out. And then Lightning was like, you look after Hope. And then she ran off, trying to cut them through a path, or whatever.
You've changed, haven't you? Seems like you've toughened up.
I'm a Lassie. I had to.
Yeah, the only ones that ought to be fighting the army are us dumb grown-ups.
You think it's stupid to fight?
It is if you get killed.
It was a very poor choice of words.
Anyway, just lay low. Let the dummies duke it out. The army's no match for Nora, right?
How did he not see the intense murderous gaze that's directed at him?
He was smiling.
It's me. What's up?
You damn well know what's up!
Why haven't you called in?
Sorry, slipped my mind.
Right. What's your status?
Great. Hope's great too. Are you all right?
I'm great, you're great, everybody's great. Reunion time. Figure out a rendezvous point. Don't sweat it. That line's hyper-encrypted.
Hey, sis. Is that you?
I'm not your sister.
This city's under our jurisdiction. We're the ones defending it. We should have a say in what's done to protect it.
Attention all units. Ignore all fire zone restrictions.
Give me a second.
What?
Whatever it takes to kill the Lassie. Over.
Whatever it takes! You want to start a war in the streets? Civilians are still evacuating. The collateral we're talking about is unacceptable. You don't know what it's like out there!
You don't understand why we're here. Who Who do you think it is? Terrified of Pulse and begging us to kill him at sea. It's not the Sanctum. It's not us. It's the people.
We'll meet at Hope's place. Felix Heights, 35A.
Right. See you there. Tell Fang hey.
Take care of Hope.
All over it. And I'll tell you more about Sarah when we meet up. I found out she can turn back. There's still hope.
Snow, listen to me. It's about Hope. His mother
Lightning.
was...
It's me.
Hope? Hope! Answer me! Hope!
Yelling doesn't fix it. It's called interference. You can chit-chat when we get there. I've got point. You fall in behind. And see if you can't cool off that head of yours.
Alright, sorry. Oh, I can... Anyway, let's watch that cutscene again, because I had a bit of an issue back there. And then we'll get back into it. Sorry about that. Hey, second chance to read this though. Okay. Lightning knows that Snow is not Hope's favorite person, but the only way to ensure the boys escape from the swarm of Sanctum troops is to leave him with the man he despises. Her mind made up, Lightning shoves Hope at Snow, then charges for the enemy soldiers, intending to cut a path through which they can escape. She may fail to give him hope, but the least she can do is keep him alive, even if that means sacrificing herself. After appearing out of nowhere, with an Eidolian and felling soldiers left and right, Snow explains how the cavalry picked him up. The rebel brigade is part of the Sanctum's army, but it seems they have plans to topple the government with the help of the Lassie. Hope, of course, couldn't care less. The man responsible for his mother to death stands right in front of him. Operation Nora might be over, but his rage will not be satisfied by mere words. As Hope runs through streets sheathed in Shiva's ice, he can feel the shape of the knife Lightning left in his care nestled against his side. Okay, my beat. Sorry.
You've changed, haven't you? Seems like you've toughened up.
I'm a Lassie. I had to.
The only ones that ought to be fighting the army are us dumb grown-ups.
You think it's stupid to fight?
It is if you get killed.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, just lay low. Let the dummies duke it out. The army's no match for Nora, right?
How does he not see this child wants to kill him?
He was smiling.
It's me. What's up?
You damn well know what's up.
Why haven't you called in?
Sorry, slipped my mind.
Right. What's your status?
Great, great. Hope's great too. Are you all right?
I'm great, you're great, everybody's great. Reunion time. Figure out a rendezvous point. Don't sweat it. That line's hyper-encrypted.
Hey, sis. Is that you?
I'm not your sister.
Okay, we're back here.
This city's under our jurisdiction. We're the ones defending it. We should have a say in what's done to protect it.
Attention all units. Ignore all fire zone restrictions. Fire at will.
What?
Whatever it takes to kill the lessee. Over.
Whatever it takes. You want to start a war in the streets? Civilians are still evacuating. The collateral we're talking about is unacceptable. You don't know what it's like out there.
You don't understand why we're here. Who do you think it is? Terrified of Pulse and begging us to kill the sea. It's not the Sanctum. It's not us. It's the people.
Considering how everyone has guns, I'm pretty sure that blade is just decorative.
We'll meet at Hope's place. Felix Heights, 35A.
Right. See you there. Tell Fang hey.
Take care of Hope.
All over it. And I'll tell you more about Sarah when we meet up. I found out she can turn back. There's still hope.
Snow, listen to me. It's about Hope. His mother was...
It's me.
Hope? Hope! Answer me! Hope!
Yelling doesn't fix it. It's called interference. You can chit-chat when we get there. I've got point. You fall in behind. And see if you can't cool off that head of yours.
Alright, we meet Fang. And finally, Controller. The back alleys. Pelham Pelham. Okay, so Hope just said I'm sorry at the end of that and something about operation, so that's probably him saying, yeah, I'm gonna continue with the mission without you. And keep in mind, the mission is to off Snow, so. Now we meet Fang. No. Oh yeah, so, to give you an idea, the dude who with the sword, which I'm pretty sure is decorative, he's pretty high up in the military. Commander Roche. Hang on, let me check his name. People... Yag Roche, yes, there he is. Psychom officer. There's actually interesting lore here. Yag Roche is a Psychom officer who graduated with results second only to his fellow trainee, Jill Nabat. After improving his leadership in joint missions with the Guardian Corps, his stakes of battle experience earned him an early promotion to the rank of colonel. Assigned command of the anti-Sea operations in Palapolum, Roche ignores branch rivalries when he requests Guardian Corps cooperation. His only concern is maximizing the efforts to eliminate the Sea. Okay, so glad I read that one actually, because there is a few interesting things to note. Branches of the military don't exactly play nice with each other, and Lightning pointed this out. I think that or that happens later. They're not exactly fond of each other. So, but Roche over here, ooh. It might be she's still about to point it out actually. Ooh. Hang on. Sorry, got a little distracted. so they're not exactly fond of each other, but Rosh seems to have asked the Guardian Corps, which seems to be more public security. He asked them to help them in catching and eliminating the Lassie. Ooh, actually, that's really good. You know what? I should have gone with the commander thing. Anyway, so Guardian Corps, Psycom, Cavalry. I'm not sure. I don't think they're all really fond of each other, which is a bit of an interesting thing to note since they're all part of the military. But I guess different branches are like, yeah, we don't like those guys. Like the houses in Harry Potter or some shit. I don't know. But now they're working together to try and deal with the whole sea thing. Interesting thing to note though, I think that was the cavalry. I doubt it though. It might have been Psycom. It might have been the Guardian Corps. It actually probably was the Guardian Corps. That they were trying to advocate against ignore all fire restrictions. Which basically means that, if you didn't quite get it, is basically even if there might be civilians in the way, still open fire. Which is a pretty big deal. Because, you know, innocent people could end up dying and getting caught up in the fire, in the crossfire. But he's like, hey, it's the civilians who are scared witless of these pulseless sea, and it's the civilians who are asking us to do whatever it takes to get rid of them. That wasn't the Sanctum's idea, that was the civilians' idea. And so we're fighting for their sake. But it does bring an interesting question to light. It's like, why do you fight? Do you fight to take down the enemy, or do you fight to protect the people you care about? And it seems like Yagrosh is more of the I fight to take down the enemy type of person, which is very dangerous mentality. Because if you're willing to let civilians get caught in the crossfire, it's like, how much better are you than the enemy at that point? So, but he does have the authority to command everyone to ignore fire zone restrictions, which is kind of scary. And you can of course see the soldiers are not exactly happy with that. Now one guy is like, dude, that is way too much collateral damage you're allowing to happen. I don't know where to go here. Lightning's gonna be... Yagrosh will, you know, he was given a name, so we'll obviously see more of him. Let's just do this. And let's work with the paradigms real quick. Commando, Ravager, yeah. Sentinel Commando. Sentinel Medic, yeah. Saboteur Medic. Saboteur... Commando? Yeah, I like that. I like this. And... What should... We have 2 Sentinels already. I think they're all susceptible to physical damage, so Sentinel Commando should be fine. Commander? Commando Medic. Yeah. Yes. That's what I want to see. Okay. What else is there? Oh, fudge you. Whatever. What did they hear? Can they now hear my footsteps?
The fight's right here.
But it is worth noting that he's saying this, he's pushing this whole agenda that hey, it's the civilians who are so scared of the sea, and they're the ones who are willing to let us do whatever it takes to get rid of them, even if it means other civilians get caught up in it. And I'm pretty sure if if the threat was them being at risk of getting caught up in it, they'd feel a bit more differently. But as long as it's like, as long as I'm safe, do whatever it takes, right? Which is a bit sad. But it's a bit sad what you'd be willing to tolerate when you're scared enough. So you can see that as maybe they're trying to take... Did I really? Wow! That's amazing! Yes. Okay. I was worried I wasn't gonna get an attack in with Fang, and then the stagger gauge is gonna fall much quicker due to Ravager. Anyway. I was a little surprised that that thing didn't detect us. We were right in front of it. Fang's a bit of a fan favorite. She's cool. She's badass. Got a bit of an accent.
Let's make this quick.
I don't know if you noticed. You know, an accent's always nice. Right? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. So these guys are fighting now. I'm not 100% sure. Hang on. I think these are Guardian Corps. Which is the branch of... Oh gosh! I think these guys are Guardian Corps and Psycom working together. So Guardian Corps, it would have been Lightning, actually. Lightning would have been one of these people that were fighting. Although, I imagine she might have put up a bit more of a fight than these guys are doing. Then again, we have grown much stronger as Lassie, so... I mean, this guy specifically is Psycom. The one we just finished off.
Who are you?
Where do I start? I've got a few screws loose, but I'm a Lassie, same as you.
Hmm?
Difference being, I wasn't born on Cocoon. I'm from Grand Pulse. The world below you all hate so much. My
What?
partner and I turned to crystal there and gone to sleep. But when we came around, here we were. The reason Cocoon's in such an uproar is the same reason you're here now. Vanille and I woke up.
Evacuation protocol. We'll be moved to a secure location.
The Sanctum follows Foul Sea orders. It's not just after Lassie. They'll target civilians and purge everyone who's a threat.
More innocents get killed.
You can't take the blame for that.
Someone has to.
We can still save them. We let loose and bring the army to us.
Draw their fire.
I'm supposed to protect you. I can't let this happen. It's a tough call.
that's for sure. Only one choice, I guess. I try to save everyone. So, Hope, are you with me on this? You just need to look out for yourself.
Hope looking for an opportunity to put that blade in Hope and Snow's back.
Here goes nothing.
Okay, so dramatic reveal, and we only got to play as Fang for like 3 fights, and then we already swapped over. And just to have that cliffhanger dramatic reveal. So, you might have noticed I said Fang had a bit of an accent. So does Vanille, and this kind of explains why. They're both from Pulse. You might have also noticed if you were paying close attention, although I doubt this would have stood out to you. Vanille was surprisingly calm throughout the purge, right? Hang on a sec. Ooh, where does this go? Nowhere. This leads to nothing. Okay, so Vanille was surprisingly calm during the purge, right? She seemed fairly nonchalant. What was the point of all of that? I thought this would at least give me a chance to sneak up on them. I think my paradigms are saved, yeah. So, Vanille was calm during the purge because she thought she was just going back home. She thought the purge was just to get everything from the vestige, which she was trying to get into, back to Pulse, right? She thought that was the whole point of the purge. So then, Snow's and his team shows up and goes, the army's no match for Nora, we'll save you from the purge. Whereas Vanille, for whatever reason she's on Cocoon, she's like, wait, what? That's not exactly what I want. But by that point, she couldn't exactly reveal that she was from Cocoon. And so she just kind of went along with it, up until Hope said he needed to talk to Snow. And then Vanille was like, wait, they're definitely going to take that vestige thing back to Pulse, right? And Hope needs to go talk to Snow, who's heading to the vestige anyway. So she kind of convinces Hope to, Hope to go after Snow while she rides the bike, because I'm guessing she didn't know how to ride the bike. So if you think about it in that context, it's kind of messed up, but whatever. Ooh. Anyway, then she heads into the vestige and finds out they have no plans to take that thing back to Cocoon, which is why we see her distressed for the first time. You would probably notice this on the second playthrough, but I might as well reveal it now. Snow is already really maxed out. So that was the first time we saw Vanille kind of distressed. And it also would explain why she doesn't seem to have a particular direction in mind. It's because her direction is going back to Pulse, and she has no idea how to get there. So that would explain why she seems kind of directionless for a huge portion of the story. Now, what is interesting is how the heck did Fang and Vanille get separated? And also, you might have noticed... Okay, we'll get into it a little later, actually. We'll get into that little... there's a little tidbit that would have been interesting to note. Oof. Also, Fang describes herself as someone with a few screws loose, which is a little interesting. So now we need to find out what is it that Fang and Vanille want. Because keep in mind, these two, Fang and Vanille, are genuine Pulselessy. The enemies that Stars, Snow, Lightning, and Hope have been warned about their entire lives. So this is the first time they're meeting someone actually like that, and I wonder what their agenda is on Cocoon. I mean, I know what their agenda is. What they were doing on Cocoon in the first place. Now we know that Vanille did want to go, was okay with just going back to Cocoon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Enough problems without you causing more.
What was that all about?
The civilians are like, why the heck did you just attack those guys? Did I miss something? Hang on a sec. Ooh, yeah! Haha! Hope. So we'll go back to Fang and Vanille in a little while, and their story. There it is. But, Snow's character shines through here again, or the type of person he is. I think I said earlier, if you gave Snow the trolley problem, he would basically, the trolley's on its way to kill 3 people, pull the lever, and you're responsible for one person's death. You know the classic trolley problem. Look it up if you don't know. Snow's the type of person to look at the trolley problem and say, I'm going to find a way to stop the trolley. And you go, that's not one of the options. And he's like, I'll make it one of the options. Wait, what? That's just kind of the person Snow is. The thing is, when you go with the whole, I'll fight with that option, it also risks putting them, it also has like the most amount of risks in terms of putting people in danger. It's that whole saying, try to chase multiple things and you'll end up with nothing. It's interesting to see how that plays out. If Snow can really pull this whole thing of, I'll save everyone. And it's like, that's not one of the options available to you. You'll end up saving no one. But Snow will try anyway. And honestly, I kind of respect that. I like to believe that the world isn't so cruel that it forces you to choose between 2 evils. That there will always be a way to do what you believe is the right thing.
For your own safety, a mandatory citywide evacuation has been ordered. Please remain calm and proceed as directed by security forces.
And, you know. Which one is the one with the gun? There we go.
How about this? You see that?
Hope is still on his whole murderous rage with Snow, but at the very least he's still working with Snow.
Hope, follow my lead.
I think it's because he also cares about these civilians getting purged. In a sense, or he's just going along with whatever the fudge Snow is doing and he doesn't really care.
How about this?
And then it's interesting to note that Snow mentioned earlier that then people will die because they're just trying to get to us. Hope said that, and then Snow was like, you can't blame yourself for people's death. And Hope's response was, someone has to take the blame for people's deaths. And obviously that's motivated by the whole, you got my mother killed. Someone has to take responsibility for that, and I deem you responsible. Watch this. Okay, not this part. Yeah, after this. This guy. It's interesting that it says mana drive. I wonder if these guys can mimic magic through their technology. It's probably in the data log somewhere. What I do like about launch is it keeps you out of the range of most of the other opponents. Excuse me. It kind of reminds me of this whole thing of like, I want to save everyone. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy X with Titus, saying, I think it's now, but I want everything, because it's like that moment. Okay, this might be spoilers. I don't know if we've gone through Final Fantasy X. You know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut just in case.
Not good.
Is there a problem? Now why don't you just calm down?
Bro was wearing a helmet and still got knocked out in one punch.
I've got you.
I am a Pulse Lassie! I'm here to kill you all!
Sometimes to be the hero, you gotta play the role of villain.
What are you doing?
Clearing the area.
They'll open fire on a crowd. Doesn't matter who dies. Just wipe them all out.
That's why I said that. Snow realizes that the army is going to shoot at them, even if there's a whole bunch of civilians in the area, and he doesn't want to risk civilians get caught up in it. That was just his way of getting the civilians out of the area as fast as possible. Which goes to show he's very serious about this whole hero thing. Ooh, actually, shit. I think it goes to show how serious he is about playing the role of hero, right? He doesn't actually care how you see him. It doesn't matter to him that everyone just saw him as a horrible, horrible person that day. As long as he got to actually save their lives. Which I think deserves its own level of respect. Ooh. What the heck? Why are they firing like one shot at a time?
It's all about teamwork.
Is this what happens when they're provoked? Give me a second. Also, these guys have like really big jetpack. Oh, what the heck! And then as soon as they're not provoked anymore, they come in with some heavy hitting shiz. Okay, when they're provoked, they're forced to think.
Thanks, Hope. Time to switch, kiddo.
Why does it keep switching targets? Oh my gosh, and we're dying again.
Thanks, partner. Thanks, Hope.
Oh, this battle is gonna take uncomfortably long. Oh. Oh, please heal yourself. Never mind. Hope's dead, isn't he? They do a lot of damage. I haven't quite figured out the strat for these guys.
Try that on me.
Unfortunately, Hope is not healing himself.
How about this?
It keeps switching targets. I don't know why it keeps changing who it wants me to target.
I can take
Maybe the Sentinel role needs to end off with a vendetta. Let's try that. Which will require me to like order to manual select, but we'll try it. So Steel Guard, Steel Guard, Steel Guard, Vendetta.
Anytime. Lights out.
Yeah, that does fudge all damage.
How about this? It's all about teamwork.
I'm gonna try swapping real quick.
Thanks, partner. Hold, follow my lead. How about this? Time to switch, kiddo.
Okay, we're gonna try and swapping through these between these two rapidly.
Try that on me.
Oh jeez. So, I was saying earlier that although Snow goes with this whole self-proclaimed hero thing, he does seem to genuinely follow through on it. I gotta say, sometimes it's nice to have someone who believes they can save everyone, right? Even if that seems unrealistic. These boys, it's supposed to be done in 2 minutes. I'm not quite sure how. Don't quite know what the strat for that would have been. This is a nice place though.
See what you got.
Nice. Okay, hang on. Because I know we're so close. Okay. Yeah. Because we were right there. That's for Hope. Hope is way further away. I'm gonna go with Ravenger. Okay, I need to figure out how to deal with these guys. Or not. Excuse me. Huh. Only 2 of them. Okay, so we're gonna go with this. Although, him firing upwards into the ground might be a little dangerous. I don't know if bullets can ricochet, how well bullets can ricochet here. It'd be a tragedy if he accidentally harmed someone. Okay.
How about this?
But hey, at least it got everyone out, and it didn't seem like anyone got hurt by it. And I guess there was that huge threat of if anyone figured out that they were a C,
It's all about teamwork.
they were going to open fire on that entire crowd. Because remember, there is that whole ignore fire zone restrictions. Okay, dealt with them in 2 minutes, whatever. There's just this one guy flying around by himself. Okay. Not quite what I imagined a jetpack to look like, but hey, if it works, right? I would wear that. If it meant I got a jetpack. I don't know how this girl gets separated from her mother.
Leave her alone!
See, scum! Save the girl! Call the army!
Don't you touch her!
Protect Cocoon!
You can kind of see how hesitant they are.
You're okay now?
This is our town. Get out of here.
Oh, great.
You better run, Lassie, scum! No mercy!
No mercy, he says.
Kill the Lassie! Careful now!
None of them actually want this fight. Which, to be fair, the Phantom has taught them to fear them. And for good reason. Good thing that fell so safely.
That was magic! We don't stand a chance! We can't fight that!
I'm sorry.
Time to go! Stop them! After those clear! Fire!
Don't prepare him. Keeping in mind, this is pretty much Hope's hometown. I don't think he knew any of those people, but to be so hated must feel pretty bad.
You gotta stay ahead of them. We walk from here. Time's wasting.
Oh wait, I forgot to check behind us. Always check behind you. Okay, there's no churches here. Well, whatever.
You win some, you lose some.
Alright, the plan is to rendezvous at Hope's house. Hope's home.
Okay. Felix Heights is that way, right? Still pretty far. A great place for family living. So they say.
Yeah, I don't know what language that is. No, that's written in.
Looks like it actually might be, huh?
Yeah, well, the Sea don't have family.
Hey, listen to me, kid. I'm an orphan. I barely got to know my family. But someday, I'm gonna have my own. Once I save Sarah and protect Cocoon.
How exactly?
It's a good question. I want to do what's right, but everyone hates Lassie. Kinda hard to help someone that's trying to kill you. It'll be tough. But
Everything will work out in the end. As long as we stay together and hold on to hope.
We don't have any.
Why the fudge did they do that?
The Lassie's only hope is a quick death.
That dude heard ignore fire zone restrictions and just went nuts. Like, we're nowhere near there.
Yeah, right.
I think it's like a thing of getting older. You notice in movies that people bust through walls and ceilings, and I just always have this reaction of, bro, there is a door right there. You didn't need to cause that damage. It isn't free to fix that stuff.
It's all about teamwork. How about this?
Okay.
See that? How about this?
I don't know why, I just have that gripe of even in movies and video games, I'm like, I just have that issue of, it kind of bothers me when people just destroy stuff unnecessarily.
Hope, follow my lead.
I guess that shows I'm kind of getting old. So a little bit of an interesting dynamic. Get back to the story, dude. Sorry. So Hope is Hope. Snow is trying to inspire Hope in Hope and give him a little pep talk, and Hope is just like, he's quite pessimistic about the entire situation. And at this point, I think he said the only hope is a swift death or something along those lines, which is kind of sad. I guess Hope is being. I guess after that whole thing of Lightning talking about hope, not him literally, the concepts of hope, he's like, dude, I'm not a hopeful person. I think we're screwed. I'm not optimistic about what's gonna happen with us. Always look behind you. But Snow's just... What enemy is in this area? Oh wow. What the heck? Okay. So Snow still has no idea on how he's going to achieve all that he's promised to achieve. But he still firmly believes that he's gonna figure out a way. Whereas Hope is being slightly pessimistic, but a bit more realistic in that, like, dude, there is no actual way to do all the stuff you say you're gonna do. And Hope is saying that Lassie don't have family. I guess that may be motivated a bit by the fact that he's not exactly close to his father. And... Oh, wait, shit, fudge, no, wait. Yeah, I forgot about that move. Hope, get up. Yeah, okay, so when you see them charging up that move, you better react with the Sentinel pretty quickly. I think it can kill even Snow if you're not careful, because you saw how it kept shooting Hope even though Hope was already down. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I think we can get a stagger off. Yeah. We can't launch this thing. I think it's a bit too big. But now we can interrupt all its moves. So you gotta watch out for those bikes. Oh yeah, I haven't been changing equipment all that much. Oh. HP, physical resistance. Increase magic? Nah. By 50? Actually, what's our magic at now? Excuse me, that's actually quite a bit. That's like nearly half of that's nearly like a 50% increase. But I'm gonna make Hope a bit more tanky because it's a little tricky trying to keep him alive at the moment. So I'm gonna keep him tanky-ish. But yeah, we're good. So now we're just collecting CP points for Hope. The music here is also amazing. Should we go and fight that thing? Yeah, we'll probably end up fighting it pretty soon. What? Are they? Okay, so there are two enemies that just straight up did not detect me. And there is a bit of a tricky fight coming up. Tricky in that it's very easy to get a game over in it because of that bike, if I'm not mistaken.
How about this?
Also, I guess you can't launch. You can't. I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be able to launch flying enemies, actually.
How about this? How about this?
As useful as that would be. You may ask the question, why doesn't Hope just let Snow die during combat? And I think the answer to that would be, well, then Hope would have to finish off the fight by himself.
Come and get it.
Okay, let me try and look at the map here, because it seems like there were two paths. And they both end up here, so I'm gonna go forward a little bit, just check that there isn't another treasure thing. Okay, and then we're gonna go back this way. There's the other treasure thing. Oh, new weapon for Hope. Come on. Guys. Problem with flying enemies, you can't, it's kinda hard to preempt to strike them if they're just hovering and out of range. Oh, we're so close to this dagger, I'm gonna keep going.
You see that? How about this?
Okay, that doesn't work. Actually, we can heal up a little bit. Here we go.
Leave this to me. I'm
I'm gonna stand still so it can touch me. Ugh. Okay. I guess right now we're still waiting for how this whole Snow Hope thing is gonna turn out. What?
I can take it.
I'm gonna die. Help! Help! Yeah, it interrupted me just before I could get it off. Hope came in clutch there. Whew. Okay, you survived. Like, that's how easy it can be to die. Oh, I thought I was on Slash and Burn. I'm wondering why. Wondering why it's taking so long to stagger this thing. Maybe we can stagger it before it tries Gatling gun again. Please, please, Hope, you need to. Ah, I'm dead. We really didn't stagger it. It was so close. Where was it at? Its stagger gauge barely increased, actually. Now I'm looking at it back. Now I'm looking back at it. The stagger gauge barely increased right there. I don't know why this. I guess when it's in Gatling gun mode, it's supposed to resist getting staggered. So, learn something new every day, I guess. Because that definitely should have been a stagger. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to deal with that. If you rely too heavily on auto battle, then there are a few moments where you can get caught out by this. Oh, see, look how easy it'll be to stagger it now. As soon as Hope throws a single magic attack, there we go. Okay, 5 stars, nice. There is a moment coming up that I just remembered, but I think it'll be some time before that happens. I hope it will. Okay, let's try and take out this dude first. I think this is a fight that it might be easy to catch you out, because both of them actually have surprisingly high damage, and I need to keep an eye out for Gatling gun.
You see that?
on!
Nice.
Hope, follow my lead!
Oh, held my breath a little bit there. I think it might have been this fight. It might be a fight afterwards where there's two gunners and this bike that can catch you out.
How about this?
Gatling gun may be coming up soon.
Time to switch, kiddo.
Oh, stagger progress is kind of slow though.
It's all about teamwork. Thanks, Hope.
Okay, got it again.
Hope, follow my lead.
Nice.
How about this?
We got it down.
How about this?
No. Yeah.
We are sure that this is the right way.
The good news is, now that we're up here, which I don't know what city's designed like this. I guess it's it's like, keep in mind, they seem to have slightly futuristic technology. But now we're probably pretty far away from civilians. Ooh, look at that beach. Were we down there? I think we were down there as Lightning and Hope. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm the one you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I don't know worry a little bit about Hope's HP. I feel like if we didn't have physical walls, we might be dangerously close to dying way too many times. Ouch.
How about this? Hope, follow my lead. How about this? Time to switch, kiddo. Thanks, partner.
Oh wait, I think I figured it out.
It's all about teamwork.
Oh, I think I let Hope die.
Later. It's me you want. Time to switch, kiddo.
Okay, no, I didn't figure it out.
It's all about teamwork.
Maybe? I'm not sure. Music is so good though. I really love it. I hope you can hear it. Okay, this might be the fight. Yeah, this is the fight. Okay. You gotta be careful. I think it would make sense if it's not allowed to use Gatling gun while it still has 2 allies in battle. Or it has any allies in battle. I hope that's the case. Because that would just make sense, right? It's a very... It's like a very difficult attack to guard against, right? Oh, Gatling gun! Oh my gosh! No, 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 no! I was super wrong! Okay, they can totally use Gatling gun while it has an ally in battle.
Thanks, partner. How about this? Thanks, Hope.
Okay, so we conducted the test and the results are in. Yeah, it can use Gatling gun. You just gotta keep an eye on that thing, I guess.
How about this? Time to switch, kiddo.
Okay,
You see that?
okay. We're good to go.
Thanks, partner.
So I think Hope Snow can just block damage
It's all about teamwork.
if it's below a certain amount. And I guess that just goes to show that the bike doesn't do a big attack, it does like hundreds of tiny attacks. So it probably does like 100 attacks of like 5 damage or something like that, I don't know. I think the worst part about that is that it kind of stun locks you a little bit.
Thanks, Hope.
Oh,
Well, come on. Thanks, partner.
I think I made it. Oh, that was close. This is like the most intense this game's been. Just watching out for that move that insta-kills you.
How about this?
Good. 5 stars! Nice. You be got up, folks. Okay, I think we'll be heading back to Fang and Vanille soon. I mean, not Fang and Vanille, Fang and Lightning soon. Okay, big open area. You know what that means.
I wanted to ask you something.
What's that?
You say you want a family. What if they were taken from you?
Well then, I'd take them back.
And what if you couldn't? What if you knew who was to blame?
Well, then there'd be trouble. Hey, are you okay? Did you get hit in the head or something? Or...
Uh-oh.
Guess we'll have to talk about this later.
Don't just stand there.
Hope, wait!
Hope is so much more ready to fight than he was at the beginning of this, at the beginning of this game. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hope going. Eh. Okay, hang on. Let's Libra this thing. Ouch. Did I Libra it? Yes, I did. Okay, its weakness is lightning. Employs powerful fire-based attacks. Delivers devastating physical damage. Vulnerable to lightning damage. And it's immune to death and other things. I think that's all the defenses or all the buffs that we can get. Yeah, Hope's not doing anything anymore. Okay. So Hope finally wants to get it off his chest, right? So we saw him start the conversation, at least kind of started, asking about what happens, what would you do if you lost your family? And then they got interrupted. It took a bit of time, but at least he's now able to start the conversation. So he is a little bit tougher, I guess, or a little bit more. What's the word? Not tougher. What's the word I'm looking for? Confrontational? Ooh! Ow.
Time to switch, kiddo.
I did not remember the part of this about this thing, the defense lowering itself. That's why I was kind of excited for a second there. Okay, we're running out of... This is lasting so long that we're actually running out of buffs. Okay, let's heal ourselves real quick. Okay, and then... I would have liked to apply the buffs again first, but whatever. Okay, this thing is like falling. It's falling over. I mean, Hope was kind of dancing around the topic. He didn't immediately come out and say that, yay, I think I believe you're responsible for my mother's death, but Snow keeps missing that first punch. What the heck, man? Okay. Let's just keep our buffs up. Still a little bit of a ways to go. Vulnerable to lightning damage. Oh, whatever.
Thanks, partner.
I think if it weakens its own defenses again, we'll probably be able to finish it off. But of course, there's no way this is the entire fight, right? There we go. Oh, what? I seriously thought there'd be a phase 2. It has been a while since I played this game. Abominable Wing. Oh, it flew off.
Oh, yeah!
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Dun 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 dun.
If
you need to take a break, why don't we do it over there? Here.
I'm not thirsty.
Okay. Well, don't want to waste it.
No, I was trying to be friendly. I mean, he is a friendly guy overall.
Mommy? Mommy? I can't. Snow?
Finally getting it off his chest.
I need to know.
I told you. Save Sarah, protect Cocoon, and have myself a big, happy family. Still, it's a long road ahead. Or maybe not so long. Whatever happens, things will work themselves out. Even if you're l'Cie, you gotta keep fighting. Yeah.
And what if that gets people around you involved?
What?
What happens when your actions end up ruining someone's life? What if someone dies? What then, Snow? How do you pay for what you've done?
I can't! Right? There is nothing that can make something like that right again. When someone's dead, when someone's gone, words are useless.
So that's it? People die and you just run away?
I know! It's all my fault. I don't know how to fix it. Where do you start? What do you say? All I can do is go forward. Keep fighting and surviving until I find the answers I need.
There are no answers! You're running from what you deserve!
Well, why don't you tell me what I deserve?
The same fate!
Oh.
Nora Estine. She was my mother. And she died because of you!
You? You're the one she meant!
Ouch. Keeping in mind, Hope was legitimately about to kill him, and he still dove for him. Yes, I would like to take progress.
When we came out of crystal stasis, we didn't remember our focus or what we'd done.
Back to
All we
Fang.
could do was wander Cocoon, looking for what we'd lost.
Let's give up. Forget our focus. We don't need it.
We don't need it? Look, if we don't figure it out and pull it off, you're gonna be a Sith.
It's just making a kid that young, l'Cie. It's not right.
Yeah, it's unfair. But guess what? We grin and bear it like good l'Cie, or the Fal'Cie starts making more. Like that girl the other day. It doesn't matter what our focus is. We do it, whether we like it or not.
But
Say we call it quits. You think these people will let us go? They'll lynch us in the street. Listen, Vanille. We do what we gotta do, and get ourselves off this filthy world as fast as we can.
Fang.
You get out of here first. I'll buy you some time. Now, don't you worry. I'll come and find you, no matter where you go.
Wait! Fang!
Our fight's right here! By the time I took care of them all, Vanille was long gone. After that, Rains and his cavalry found me. I never stopped searching for Vanille, but I couldn't find her. Her or our focus.
So, you're telling me Sarah will come back to life someday too?
Yep. We didn't do our job right. That's why it made her a lessee. We messed up. Sorry.
Ouch.
That it?
You sure better hope so. But whether we're square, that's up to Sarah.
You sound exactly like Snow. And he didn't hit me.
Wait, he already knows this?
Wow. That's a load off. Glad I apologized.
You apologized so you'd feel better?
Guess so. How about you? Feel any better now that you hit me?
Surprisingly honest, this one.
It didn't change anything.
Huh. Tell that to my jaw.
Felix Heights is up there. Still a ways before we get to Hope's place.
Better pick it up.
We'll head through that gate.
Right.
Okay, so I think there's still a few more finer details to go over. Always check behind us. But that was a pretty big reveal. This is why we always check behind us. Fang said that her and Vanille are from Pulse, which we already knew. She said that way long ago. And it seems like they were already lessee. So if you noticed... Oh, wait. Hang on. That's a bit of... Okay, we'll go into that later. So if you notice... I can talk, I promise. If you noticed, it said day 5. I believe that was the same day Dodge got made into a lessee. So it turns out it must have been these two, or not these two, Fang and Vanille, who were at the gorge. And because there were two Pulse lessee in the area, the Sanctum Fal'Cie, the one that manages the energy plant, felt threatened. And so it grabbed the nearest person it could see nearby, right, which was Dodge, and turned him into a lessee in order to protect itself. So if you think about it, you can argue that it's Vanille's fault, and that's kind of what she wanted to get off her chest earlier. If you notice, she was crying in the rain. If you think about it in a way, it's kind of Vanille's fault that Dodge, a boy so young, is actually a lessee right now. Because she was in the area of a Sanctum Fal'Cie. Now, what exactly they were planning to do there, I don't know. But that was enough for the Fal'Cie to feel threatened. And so Vanille feels pretty guilty about that whole situation. Well, yeah, clearly. And Fang is saying that they actually did complete their focus. And turned into crystal. That was another big reveal that we were given. Snow said Sarah will turn back, and this is why. Yeah, Lightning just saying they're willing to kill everyone if it means getting rid of the Pulse lessee. Which is like... Are you there to destroy or protect? Anyway. So Fang and Vanille seem to have completed their focus in some aspect. But she says they didn't do it right. So they woke up from their crystal stasis, right? And they came back to life, and I guess the Pulse Fal'Cie was like, these guys can't do the job, so I guess Sarah was in the area and it turned Sarah into a lessee, which kind of started a whole bunch of the shiz. And that's the reason why Lightning slapped Fang, by the way, is because You could argue that Fang and Vanille are responsible for Sarah being a Lassie in the first place. And Lightning was like, yeah, sorry we didn't do our job properly. Oops. Apparently she told all of this to Snow, which, yeah, that makes sense. And she was like, Snow didn't hit me. Yeah, I felt like we could end the battle, so I didn't heal. I thought we could end it in time. Oh, we just ran through here. Oh. No, watch. The camera kind of has a mind of its own sometimes.
Phoenix Heights is this way.
Why are you turning to face me, dude? Look the other way. Go on, do it. That way. That way. Okay, it's just gonna keep looking at me, isn't it? This motherfucker is just... Oh my gosh, you... Okay, fine, we're not sneaking up on them, whatever. I didn't realize the other one was tracking us, even though it shouldn't be able to detect that we're there. Even though the game is saying it hasn't... Oh, fuck. So that was a pretty big reveal. For starters, the reveal that someone who's been turned into crystal can turn back, but it might require them not properly completing their focus. Ooh.
Don't get predictable.
So we're not sure if Sarah meets their criteria, or if people who've been turned into crystal automatically turn back, right? But Fang and Vanille turned back. They were in the Erudite Gorge. And because they were in the Erudite Gorge... Oh wait, Fang and Vanille turned back, but apparently they didn't do their focus properly. And so the Pulse Falcine, the Anima, the one we fought at the very beginning of the game, if you remember, Sarah must have been close enough that it turned Sarah into a Lassie as well. I guess people are allowed to go into the Vestige or something, because we had to make our way into that thing. Anyway, it turned Sarah into a Lassie, and that's why she became a Lassie. And then, Fang and Vanille made their way to the Erudite Gorge plants, I think it was, the energy plants.
Follow my lead.
So they made their way to the plants where Dodge was when Sans was visiting with Dodge, his son. And I guess because there were two Pulse Lassie in the area, the Cocoon Falcine felt threatened. And so it turned Dodge into a Lassie as well. And then they just left. We saw earlier Vanille holding Dodge's hand in that quick little cutscene. And we saw two silhouettes that look familiar. So Vanille was already a Lassie when they went to fight Anima. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, Dodge became a Lassie, and then Dodge is the one who detected that there was a Pulse Falcine in Bodum. He gained the ability to sense that stuff. And because they sensed there was a Pulse Falcine in Bodum, it started the Purge. Which, yeah, so this all happened because Fang and Vanille woke up from their crystal stasis. And that just kicked off everything else. 4 stars. I think it might have been better if we didn't... Oh wait, I almost forgot the treasure chest. No reason I fought these guys. Oh, new weapon for Fang. Okay. And we can kind of see what motivates Fang. She's very intent. She was like... Vanille was like, this feels wrong, right? Because Dodge became a Lassie, which, you know, that could be argued as your life is over at that point. Ooh. Debuffs. So Vanille felt bad and was like, let's just forget our focus. And Fang was like, I don't think you thought that through. Do you know how that ends? You know how that ends. That ends with us being monsters, and I'm not letting that happen to you. So you can kind of see that Fang seems to have this very much protective role over Vanille. So I guess Fang's the type of person who'd be willing to set the world on fire for the people she cares about. We'll get more into that later. Medic? Those are just stats. Commando? Stats, whatever. And then they got separated. I asked the question earlier, how did they get separated? Now we know. Once, I guess they were fleeing from the plant, the energy plant, and there were a bit too many soldiers, so Fang decided to divert their attention. Fang diverted their attention, and then she lost track of Vanille after that.
Keep a cool head and we'll nail this.
Youch, that kinda hurt. And then, you know, after that, after Vanille got away and Fang managed to take care of the soldiers. Because she's a very strong pulse, you see. Lightning help! Jeez Louise, that was close to killing me. I need Lightning to heal herself, because she's like very close to a heave death. Youch. Keep healing, keep healing, keep healing. Oh gosh, we need to heal now. Oh, it does this! Huh. Okay. So, this is actually that is actually kind of metal. It's kind of cool. It just ripped out its horn or something, and that turns out to be like a whole lab sword. So, I know of this, but we didn't see them do this earlier. These types of enemies. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but they seem to be very similar types of enemies throughout the game. I know. Hang on, I need to just...
This'll be fun.
I just need Lightning to give Lightning a moment to catch her breath.
Cheers.
Okay, we're almost done. So, interestingly enough, there's a version of this, I don't think this is a major spoiler, there's a version of this enemy in the sequel games. No, fudge. There's a version of this enemy in the oh, nice evade, Fang. There's a version of this enemy in the sequel games that when it rips out its horn, it heals a whole bunch of HP. But it does pretty much this exact same thing. After it gets below a certain amount of health,
Didn't even break a sweat.
After it gets below a certain amount of health, it just auto heals itself. Ooh, 5 stars. Nice. And then it changes its attacks, obviously. Okay, it's this part. Watch this. Okay, not this. Okay. Well, yes, watch this.
Let's get Snow on the line. Damn thing's still jammed. He can take care of himself.
We'll just have to believe that. Hey, Fang.
Hmm?
The others are safe, right? If any of us got caught, they'd make an announcement.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to let everyone know that the big bad Lassie can't hurt him no more. These Cocoon people, bunch of cowards and blowhards.
These Cocoon people have spent centuries under Fal'Cie law, in constant fear of a Pulse invasion. If it weren't for Sarah, I'd have been out there too, hunting Lassie. Would have been nothing but targets to me.
Well, Grand Pulse is just as twisted. Cocoon's a floating nest of vipers, ready to strike. Or so I thought.
So, you became a Lassie to fight the Vipers. And destroying the nest is your... I mean, our focus now.
Until we woke up here, we'd been in crystal stasis. Which means we must have completed our first focus. Why can't I remember that part? My childhood's clear as day. But the one thing I need, it's just gone.
Flashbang. Warning.
Like an
Oh, it's too late now,
page.
but yeah.
I reach for the memory, and nothing's there. Then there's my brand. It's all messed up. Vanille and me, we lost our past and our focus.
And now, you want to find them? Be a Pulse Lassie? An enemy of Cocoon?
That's right.
Pulse and Cocoon can rot for all I care. If I don't figure out our focus soon, Vanille's gonna be a Seath. I'll tear down the sky if it'll save her.
Okay. Wait for it. So, we learned a lot. We learned a bit. Fang... Okay, it's probably up ahead. Fang is from Pulse, obviously, and it's interesting to note that Pulse is similar in its mindset to how Cocoon is. Fang is pretty much believed that Cocoon was a danger. I guess spent a lot of her life believing that Cocoon was some great danger. Like the way the citizens of Cocoon think Pulse is some great danger. I don't know if there's some government that planted that idea or whatever. But, Fang became, Cocoon was described as like this floating nest of vipers that needed to be rid of. Well, so Fang became a Lassie to get rid of the vipers, right? To get rid of this threat that was constantly hanging above their heads. And so she mentioned that they must have completed their first focus, but she can't remember what it was. And then they stayed in Crystal.
Cut through the passage up ahead, and we'll be
Ah, this is the part I wanted you to see. They like come swinging out. It was less impressive than I thought it was going to be. It might be. So Fang remembers completing, well, Fang she remembers being turned into crystal, so she's like, we definitely completed a focus. Enough that we got turned into crystal, but it seems it woke us back up for another focus. So I guess that's the confidence that Snow has, that Sarah's gonna be alright. Is that apparently if you complete one focus, the Fal'Cie is gonna give you another one. After a certain amount of time of being crystal, the Fal'Cie will just give you another one. Ugh, sorry. So Sarah is probably, well, Sarah might turn back. We don't have a lot of reference points for this whole thing. Like, the only reference points we have for this whole Lassie business is Fang and Vanille at this point. And they turned into crystal and they came back, right? So, that. And, like I said, I got a bit more to know, like, what kind of person Fang is. She was like, Pulse and Cocoon can rot for all I care. But I'll tear down the sky if it means protecting Vanille. So one of those people is like, I'll set the whole world on fire as long as my loved ones are saved. Which I don't say is exactly the wrong mentality, but I'm not gonna say it's exactly the right mentality either. I guess it's your own personal thing. And so, Fang is looking for Vanille at this point. So that she can try and get them away. And she's also quite cynical, I guess, about how this whole thing will turn out. Because it's not like she's willing to just abandon her focus so that innocent Cocoon people will live. Because she's like, those innocent Cocoon people would probably kill us if they had the opportunity to do so. Which is something she mentioned when they were back at the plant. At the energy plant. She was like, they'll lynch us in the streets. So I don't think you need to feel guilty about harming them in any way, shape or form. Or you don't really need to feel all that guilty about harming them with our focus. We do what we need to do to survive. And it is interesting to note that the people of Pulse have a similar mentality to the people of Cocoon, of seeing the other world as this grave threat that can attack them at any moment, and they need to be constantly ready for the day it happens. Although, from what I know, Cocoon is the one who, Pulse is the one, the Pulse forces are the ones who invaded Cocoon. So I guess they were like, those guys are a danger, it's a matter of time before that nest of vipers comes raining down on us, we better take them out first. So it is quite interesting how that happened, because they seem to know very little about each other.
Call me Light.
Did you see Vanille's brand?
No.
No, huh? Want to know how long until it's Seath City? Just look at your brand. You start getting more arrows, and then finally an eye. Once it opens all the way, you're done. Let's have a look. Don't be shy.
Okay.
Nowhere near. You got time. Still, you never know. Some people, doesn't take so long. You get a nasty shock, it can speed up the process. Vanille's brand must be pretty far along by now. I gotta save her and get her home.
To Pulse, you mean?
To Grand Pulse. I hear that the Sanctum prevents people from leaving Cocoon. I'd like to see him try and stop me.
So, that's your plan? Wish I had one. Without Sarah, without a future, there's nothing to plan for. There's no way out of this mess, and no way to fight it. I'm stuck trading blows with the Sanctum, but that's no plan. Even if we topple the government, where's that leave us? With nothing to fight for, I might as well be dead.
Your sister. You've got plenty to fight for. think about it. Don't you want to see Sarah after she wakes up? That's your future right there. All you gotta do is survive. It's simple.
Right.
Snow, they found him.
Ooh, remember that explosion? Put a pin in what Bang just did. We're gonna come back to it. Remind me to come back to it. I'll remind myself, it's fine. I hope.
Hope. Hey, Hope!
You landed on your back. Why does your front hurt? Notice the brands. Bang and lightning once again. Oh, this music's awesome. I just love the music. Violators will be treated as enemy combatants.
This is a SciComm announcement. This area has been placed under quarantine. Entry to and exit from this area are prohibited.
That's probably how it went down in Bodom.
Transfer request will not be granted. Violators will be treated as enemy combatants.
So, if you were paying attention, that's why I was silent. It's probably how this went down in Bodom. The entire area is quarantined with no one being able to enter or exit anymore, regardless of their circumstance, and then they probably initiated the purge afterwards. So, Fang said one of the ways to tell how far along you are before you turn into a Sith is to look at your brand. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to the right, So she said one of the ways to tell how far away you are from turning into a Sith, so how much time you have left before you turn into a Sith, right, is look at your brand. The brand, we saw how it looks like at the very beginning. I don't know how to describe the pattern, but hopefully you saw it and you know what I'm talking about. The pattern will start gaining arrows as time goes on. And then eventually it will gain an eye. And when the eye fully opens, you'll turn into a Sith. I don't know if you noticed that a lot of the Sith seem to have this huge eyeball type thing. Now, there's something else you might have noticed. I don't know if anyone actually noticed this. But if you were paying close attention to Vanille if you paid close attention to Vanille's brand, you might have noticed that it already had an arrow when everyone else got turned into a Sith. And if you did notice that, private, but her brand that's in a kind of compromising position actually already had an arrow at the beginning of the game when she kind of revealed that she got turned into a l'Cie too. And that's because she had been a l'Cie before they went to fight Anima. She already was a l'Cie at that point. She just pretended to get turned into a l'Cie at the same time as everyone else. Lightning's brand is in the same place as Saz's, but so that's why they had to inspect her chest. But it seems like Lightning... Ooh, Tungsten Brand. Lightning still... I'm gonna give that to Hope. I think Hope is like the fragile one. Actually, do I have any fights with Hope coming up? I think I do. We'll see. But... Fang is saying that Lightning's nowhere near turning into a seed. She doesn't have to worry for a little bit of time. So she's probably got barely any arrows, if any arrows at all. But she did warn that that circumstance can change very, very quickly. If you get shocked enough, for some reason the brand will just speed up its progression, and you'll lose a lot of time, and all of a sudden you'll turn into a seed. But that's if you get a nasty surprise out of the blue. So those soldiers we saw at the very beginning. So if you remember the very first time we were in the vestige, we saw a bunch of Seath wandering around. Those might have been soldiers who came to investigate. And they were already Seath. So the time you have to complete your focus isn't exactly set. It's different for different people. And it seems for the majority of the soldiers, if there were any who got turned into a Seath, we're not 100% sure, but it seems some of them were turned into a Seath. They either got the nastiest shock of their lives when they realized that they were now l'Cie, and that shock was so bad that it propelled them straight into the Seath state. So that's another thing you gotta watch out for as a l'Cie. Watch out for your own mental state. The fal'Cie forcing you to care about your mental health there. And try to avoid nasty surprises. Because yes, if you do get too nasty of a surprise, you will turn into a Seath. You'll basically cut down the amount of time you have left to turn into a Seath. And the time you have to complete your focus. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but I did mention it in I think it was like the first or second episode. I think it was the first. That when we swapped to Vanille, little interesting tidbit, she had 3 ATB gauge. So the game actually does hint to you if you know what you're looking for. When we go with Hope to chase off the snow on that bike and we enter the vestige, and then we take control of Vanille at that time. Vanille actually has 3 ATB, so that was but everyone else you play as, whether it's Lightning paired with Saz or Snow on his own or with his team or whatever, they all had 2 ATB gauge. So the game was kind of hint, hint, nudge, nudge, something funky's going on here. And that whole thing was that Vanille was actually already a l'Cie, and so that's why. And you'll notice that after killing Anima, the Pulse fal'Cie, everyone gets 3 ATB. That's because now they gain access to the power of l'Cie. So Vanille probably could use magic, she just hid it. Because she knew that was the power of l'Cie. And she didn't want to alert Hope or anyone else that she was actually a l'Cie. Did I say she could use magic but couldn't? I meant she could use magic but didn't. Black belt. Look at the city though. Let's take it in for a second. This mix of greenery as well is kind of cool. I wonder if there's like a real life place where it's like a very a real life inspiration for this place, where it's like very industrialized. Well, not industrialized, it's very much a city, kind of. Okay, not like a metropolitan city, not like a very busy city. Very city-like, and then you just have this like dense greenery, like smack dab in the middle of it. Music's nice too. Alright, let's continue. I'm just taking the sights. It's a beautiful game with some beautiful music. And you'll also notice, I think Snow had only 1 arrow on his brand before Hope pointed out that his mom was Nora, the woman that died, that Snow was And then I think afterwards it gained another arrow. I could be wrong about that. You may need to fact check me on that one. But it would have been a cool little tidbit to show that how the brand progresses after a person gets a nasty surprise. I'm gonna die. I'm good. It was a false alarm. Ouch! Okay, let's catch our breath. Is lightning dead?
This'll be quick.
Oh, I couldn't get the potion off in time. I didn't realize lightning was dead. She just stayed crouched. Okay, that was a little embarrassing. Let's try that again. We're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
We'll see who's left standing.
Lightning's gonna die, isn't she? Lightning, you need to heal yourself. Lightning, please heal yourself.
You're gonna swerve.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna swerve.
Oh my gosh, she keeps trying to use blitz, whatever. Okay, let's catch our breath. What the heck? You can literally see it that it's provoked. Why is it walking? Okay. I was like, why is it walking towards lightning? Fang is the saboteur and the... I'm gonna keep... Okay. What abilities do I have as a saboteur? Okay, I just have slow. Okay. This should give us a bit more time between attacks and make it a bit easier to catch our breath. I'm gonna stick with this paradigm. Okay, it's changing.
We'll see who's left standing.
Okay, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Let's try it one more time.
Appreciate it.
Is it immune to... Oh, it's immune. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Cheers.
Ouch. Okay, so in this form it's immune to status ailments.
Appreciate it. You're gonna swerve.
Okay. Oh,
Tear it up.
that does a lot of damage, doesn't it?
You want some?
Okay. This game might be kind of tough on hard mode though. I think you'd have to juggle between the paradigms very, very quickly. You might have to jump between them very, very quickly, or juggle them very, very well. Well, this was the precarious situation. Did I use precarious correctly? I'm not sure. I hope I did. Like, it is so easy, I feel, for Hope to just slip through and then fall on his head. What a champ! Oh, I wanted to talk about Snow. Remind me to talk about Snow. I'll try to remind myself. One day there'll be someone here to remind me. I hope.
Must be light. Hey.
Why'd you save me?
I was asked to keep you safe. By lightning. And by Nora. I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. I put her in danger. I know that. Let me make things right.
You told me before that you couldn't.
And that words were useless and a lot of other things I shouldn't have said. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to set things straight. So I didn't. I thought if I couldn't make up for it, then all the apologies in the world wouldn't mean a thing. So I decided I had to find a way to pay for it first, before I'd even have the right to say sorry. But, it's like you said, I was using that as an excuse so I could run from my own guilt. And that hit home. Oh. Look, Hope. I know what happened was my fault. I don't deny it, and I am sorry. Here. That's lights, isn't it?
Why'd you...
That knife was a present from Sarah. To keep her safe. She trusted you with something that important. You should be the one to carry it. I'll find a way to make things better. Just give me time. If nothing I do is good enough, then I'll take any punishment you want to dish out.
She's gone, Snow. You can take the blame, but it won't bring her back.
I'm sorry.
I knew it all along. I knew it, but... I had to blame someone. I had to. I needed a reason to keep on fighting.
It wasn't someone's fault. It was mine. Take it out on me. And keep yourself alive until you do. I have to keep going. Look at that. You don't even need any help. You're all right. That's good to see.
Now, if you wanted to kill him,
Let me catch my breath.
this might be a good time. Actually, being on his back would have been a good time. But it seems like he doesn't want to kill him anymore. Now that they've had a bit of a heart-to-heart. Oh, it's back.
Always the hero. You wanna die? You can't. I won't let you!
Right, Hope's gonna fight this thing on his own. Okay. Do I really have to use Libra on you again? You know, I bet hard mode requires you to use some of your extraneous abilities, like whatchamacallit? Like Quake. I bet Quake is useful in hard mode. I don't remember. I don't think I've done hard mode. Have I done hard mode? Anyway. So, it's interesting that Lightning, Hope, and Snow all have something in common, in which they kind of don't know how to tackle what's ahead of them, and so they end up just kind of running away in a sense. Snow was saying that he didn't know what to do or how to make things right, so he kind of just moved on without even trying to.
You'll be sorry.
So Lightning, you saw that with Lightning, oh.
Not bad, kid. Where's Snow?
He's okay.
Sure you're up to this? Thing'll never know what hit it.
And we got a full squad. It's been a while. Okay, still the same enemy. Yowza!
Thanks.
So, Snow didn't really know how to make things right, and of course, someone died. How do you make something like that right?
Thanks.
It's not really a way to make things right if you are responsible for that, right? And he didn't really know how to tackle that whole issue. So he kind of just moved forward, convincing himself that he'll figure out a way one day. And he didn't even try to apologize or say or find who was it that lost their loved one or anything like that. He did try, if you noticed at the very beginning, he asked if the kids are safe. When his crew was like, the army's no match for Nora. And he was like, I meant the kids, are the kids okay? And they said all present for accounted for. I think that was his way of trying to at least honor Hope's mom's last wish. Because he's like, if I can at least get him home safe, I think that kind of makes up for the fact that she died under my watch. She died in the plan that I made, you know. But then he told himself that words were useless, and he said a whole bunch of stuff about nothing you can do, nothing you say, you can ever make things right. And it's interesting to think that Snow might feel responsible for, because, like, remember the Team Nora, the group he was leading? Oh, come on. The team he was leading, right? We saw them, when Hope was lecturing him, or whatever, we saw that was one of the images that appeared in Snow's mind of someone he might have wronged, right? Ooh, we can launch this. So Snow might be under the impression that those guys are dead. Are they dead? Moving on. So, and then we saw him reflecting on what happens when other people get caught up in his plans, which again he feels kind of responsible for. Well, how can you not? And then they end up dying because of it. But I thought it was just a little bit of an interesting thing to note, that in his own way, Snow was also kind of running away. Lightning and Hope were running away from the fact that they'd lost a loved one and they were now hated by the world and didn't know what to do with themselves. So they just picked a target and started swinging at it, right? They were like, I'll just pick a target and start swinging at it, right? Whereas Snow is just like, I'll make this right one day, somehow, some way. Please, outfield. Snow, Hope, I need you to heal me! Wait, why didn't Hope heal me? Wait, what happened?
You can't be serious.
I can't change the paradigms. Oh, I can. As I say that, Shiz. I need... What do I need? Even odds. Oh, I have that. I'm gonna go with something like this as my oh shiz, oh fudge, we need to heal. Which is the Sentinel, healer, and then Delta attack should be sorry. Delta attack should be useful. Yeah, I think we'll have to go with this. Is there Sentinel? I'm gonna go with even odds and hope that's enough. Okay, so we'll start off the battle with even odds. And
Not bad, kid. Where's Snow?
He's okay.
Sure you're up to this? Thing'll never know what hit it.
I didn't get a good look at the paradigms we have access to. Let's start off with this.
Thanks.
Okay, well, we're pretty much done now. I should have thought this through a bit more. What else do I have? Do I have another synergist thing? No, I don't. I need Hope to buff us up as much as possible. We might have not needed to do that, but whatever. Hope you got any more buffs for us? Okay, it doesn't look like Hope has any more buffs for us, so let's get into there. Let's get in there.
Follow my lead. Thanks.
Let's go with this. This should be enough to carry us through this. It feels just as fast as before though, even though it supposedly has slow on it.
Change of plan. Follow my lead.
Also, it was interesting to note that Snow was saying, if there is nothing I do that's good enough to make it up to you that you lost a loved one, then I will accept whatever punishment you dish out. And that, I guess that's his way of saying, like, you can kill me if that'll make you feel better. If you still want to. But it is interesting that Hope was in the, Snow was in this mindset of nothing you can say or do will ever make up for that kind of loss. But he still had the belief that he would figure out a way to do so. And so he just kind of walked away from that issue.
Go!
Maximum stagger! Okay, let's...
Thanks. Don't get for the
Through this phase, I'm gonna let lightning handle the attacks. Do I have any other god other than Medigod? No, I don't. Okay, that wasn't so bad.
Gotta stay in control. Thanks.
Actually, it's kind of for the best way to target lightning, because Hope and Fang are sticking right next to each other. So its attacks... If only Fang would like spread out, if only you could like sort of control the characters a little bit, just to move. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, after this... Oh wait, we can totally get a stagger. There it is. I don't think we're going to be able to kill it before that dagger runs out. We are doing a lot of damage to it, yeah? Nice! I wanted to get that smite in. Oh, we lost hope. Okay, fudge, oh fudge, we need to heal.
Thanks.
Are you freaking kidding me? You saw how close it was to dying, right? Okay, apparently we need the slow on it. It just attacked a bit too often. Well, he's got 3,000 points. I don't know if he can actually... Well, that freaking sucks. Yeah.
Follow my lead.
Well, that's annoying. Nothing we can really do here. We still have access to its weaknesses. I'm waiting for Hope to get all the buffs in. So I guess I should have changed that last paradigm. There's one of the paradigms I'm not using. Which one is it? Is it Delta attack? And I think that's the last buff. Okay. Actually, let's go with diversity. This is fastest. Alright. Okay, 2 of our attacks just whiffed completely. Our attacks are whiffing all of a sudden. Fang keeps missing. Fang keeps missing. What is going on? Oh, we didn't even get the smite off. I may need to slow it down again. Okay. Alright. Why did it take 3 attacks to launch it? What is going on with this fucking fight? I think this is faster, but I have no proof of it. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Hang on, I should actually stick in here. Okay. Okay, diversity. Okay. I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh, its attacks are coming so quickly. Bro. I'm kind of mashing the buttons here, even though I only need to press them once. I guess I just do that.
Change of plans.
Okay, its attacks are slightly less devastating, and I think we'll get the stagger off here again. Okay, we should be done. Oh my freaking gosh. You need that perk that auto kills an enemy when it's on low HP. I think it might be like only a chance to do so, but Snow unlocked it. Oh, finally. Jeez. Hey, look at that. 5 stars! In only 6 minutes when it takes 9.5 minutes expected.
Operation Nora didn't work out. Oh.
Ah.
You'll be okay. I'll keep you safe.
Lightning. Me too. I mean, at least I'll try. I'll try to watch out for you two.
Look at how far these two have come.
Don't forget about this one.
Oh yeah, he's knocked out.
That one'll be all right. He's too stubborn to die.
Knowing you'll always be welcome, no matter how much has changed. That's what having a home is all about.
That's a nice way to put it. As long as you have a place where you're always welcome, no matter what, then you always have a home. Or something like that. Vinny'll put it better, but you get what I mean. I forgot to check behind us. I'm gonna go back and check behind us. I probably need to buy more Phoenix Downs or some shit. I don't know. So the gates are closed. Well, that's a nice way to think of the definition of home. I feel like if these two giant buildings weren't in the way, probably you would have had a stellar view. But we still get to see the sunset, which is really nice. Not a bad view overall. Nice place, Hope. And it's got this little garden out front. Maybe you just remove that building. You probably would have said, look at this. Gorgeous. 2009 or 2010 game, by the way.
Hope.
Mom's gone.
Nora.
Dad, I know. I'll be in my room. We're gonna rest up. Then we'll leave. If they find out you're sheltering Lassie, they'll...
Huh? You're my son. This is your home. My son.
I think. I'm just trying to remember what comes next. You know what? We're gonna risk it for the biscuit. I did just save. I'm pretty sure, but just in case I didn't. You can see Hope and his father in there having a tender moment. Let's look around the house. What's this? The two small figures visible in this photo seem to be Hope and his mother. The where? Hope's father must have been at a distance when he took the picture. No kidding! 'Cause I can't see anyone in there. Maybe I'm just blind though. That is a distinct possibility. Snow is still out cold. Lightning's looking over him, watching over him, looking after him. This would seem to be the apartment's master control terminal. It's of an elegant and modern design, and looks expensive. Why would you put the master control terminal out in the open like this? For the entire apartment? Maybe it's something you need to access on the regular? I don't know. A handful of academic texts and homemakers magazines occupy the otherwise sparse shelves, but none of Hope's possessions are to be seen. It's interesting that they point out there doesn't seem to be any of Hope's stuff here. I wonder if that's an indication that he thought Hope and Nora had died, and he was waiting for that news to come, and that's why he opened the door so urgently. But the way that interaction went, it seemed more like he was still holding out hope that Hope's father was still holding out hope that Hope and Nora were still alive. So maybe Hope just doesn't have a lot of possessions? I don't know. I'm not quite sure what that is about. This appears to be an S-time family portrait. A contented smile graces the face of Hope's father, but Hope himself seems to be in a sullen mood. Why did they take the picture? Why weren't they like, hey, you gonna smile or something? And you can see Hope over there. Okay. You know what? We got time, so let's risk it for the biscuit.
Now for an update on the situation in Palampolum. The Lassie continue their desperate flight, and the military has now launched an all-out campaign to eliminate them. In the event you must leave your home, please follow the instructions broadcast on this channel.
Must be the kid's family.
Roughly 2,500 civilians believed to have come in contact with the Lassie are now being held in quarantine by the Sanctum. Our latest Instapoll has shown a vast majority in favor of the immediate purging of these individuals, believing their treatment...
Lay down.
All right. See, you took the kid's toy away.
He gave it back to me. Said he didn't need it anymore.
Go figure.
It was too much. What happened to Sarah? All I could think about was, what could I have done? I hated myself for not trusting her. It hurt too much. I couldn't face it. Look, Snow. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
For what?
Everything.
If you told me your real name, I suppose I could.
Have Sarah tell you. When she comes back.
Deal.
My dad said he'd like to see you guys. He wants to talk.
The blame is mine. I couldn't save her.
This might feel awkward. Remember this game is Japanese.
If it wasn't for Snow, I wouldn't be here right now.
To explain what Snow's doing back there. That's a way of
Snow.
apologizing, I believe.
Did Nora... Did she say anything to you?
Hope. She said to get him home.
And that's exactly what you've done. Face to face like this, it's hard to believe you're all dangerous fugitives. But the entire world is scared to death of you, LaCie. No, not even just you. People who've helped you, bumped into you. Sometimes it's even just people who've walked by one of you. They think they're tainted and want every one of them purged.
The Sanctum's a puppet of the Foul Sea. To them, our lives don't mean anything at all. We'll stop this. Take down the Sanctum and save Cocoon.
You've thought that through? If LaCie take down the Sanctum, fear of Pulse will only get worse. It won't stop at fear. People will take up arms and stand against you. Can you imagine it? The rampant violence.
When the government's control is gone, the citizens will revolt.
So what then? We're supposed to just smile and eat a bullet? That means you too.
I know I'm part of this. I'm on your side of the fence. Harbor of LaCie and a public enemy.
Coming here was a bad idea.
This is your home. We're all here. Let's figure this out together. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Heads up!
Hope! In the back!
You're not ready for this. I'll stay here. Snow, help my dad.
Come on.
Okay, so we risked it for the biscuit and we lost the biscuit. I was kind of hoping this was going to be a little bit longer. If I'm not mistaken, this is a part in the game where you can actually kind of grind for gold. These guys drop money. Well, not direct money. But they drop something you can sell for a decent price. Oh, lightning's in charge this time. So I wanted to come here and I was hoping to reach this part. I was hoping there was another what's the word I'm looking for? There was another section that happened before this. And I was going to go through that section and then basically I was hoping it was going to ping pong between these two. Well, basically go to these two sections back to back because I kind of do want to stick around here and bomb for a little bit. And I'm not sure. I'm already running out of things to say, so I don't know if I can yap throughout an entire farming session. So I was gonna try and do it off stream, but I'll probably stop here. It's getting close to the time anyway. Oh, well, not that close. Actually, it's a little early. But I do want to, I think I'm going to try grinding off stream here. I do want to also play Inscription. So I might do that tomorrow. I think we're going to try and play Inscription. But yeah, this is the spot where you can just run back and forth between... look. Okay, they didn't drop it. And I'm going to save here quickly. You're supposed to go in that room to just move on, but if you run around the house continuously, you'll be able to farm some money here.
They're not gonna just give up and go away.
Yeah, those guys are over there. So, yeah, I think I want to play Inscription. I also kind of want to play Cyberpunk. I have the old version of Cyberpunk on PS4 Pro. That part, I believe it hasn't been updated with the 2.0. So that could have been cool to play on stream as well. But I think I'm going to go with Inscription. Probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after. We'll see how that goes.
Shouldn't we be making tracks out of here?
If it's not tomorrow, then I'm certain it'll be the day afterwards. So, but I guess we'll call it there then. We shall... I got a shit ton of stuff to do, actually. We shall get back to it. Anyway. So, anyway, thanks for... Hang on, wait. Actually, you don't need to be here for this part. But I do want to see... Oh. Okay. Alright, thanks for coming up. Thanks for coming out. To anyone who's watching, hope you have a good rest of your time zone. I heard someone say that. I think that's a good way to put it. And, yeah. Keep it smooth. Bye-bye.